If you want to make a build with a budget in this game, the best way to do that, I think, is to actually move in a sim. And so I just quickly randomized somebody, and I'm not even sure why I recorded this, because who cares? But actually, I'm pretty glad that I did, because what you're currently witnessing, or I guess what you've already witnessed, because it went just that quick, is the birth of Jerry. And I'm not really sure why, but I like this guy. Sometimes you randomize a sim and you just go, oh, hello. I think it's first of all because of his mustache, because yes, but then also more importantly, he's wearing that suit that came with City Living that is ridiculously fancy. Like, he's so overdressed, but I feel like it's on purpose. It's like he's the moment and he knows it, and I love that for him. Anyway, we're here to make a thing, and that thing is a starter apartment using just City Living and the base game. And I'm building this in the 17 Culpepper House unit. Right now, I'm just working on the floor plan. It's honestly not that different from the original. There is always only so much you can do with the bases that you get for the apartments, because you can't move any of the exterior walls or windows. It kinda sucks. But I did decide to change up quite a few things. For example, I added an entrance area. I always find it so weird. You have that so often in The Sims, where you have the front door and then you're just in the kitchen or in the living room. Like, why? And in the original, they also only had one bedroom and a lot of empty space. And in my version, I decided to use all of the space a bit better, I think. Yeah, honestly, now thinking of it, the original version of this is kind of sad. I'm always so strangely nervous and careful whenever I build with a budget, because every time that I place down an item, I'm just like, can I afford this? Can I afford that? Should I do this right now? Although with an apartment, it's honestly fine, because here you don't need to pay for any of the exterior stuff. And I think it's super fun to have a build where you only focus on the interior. And I think I really went crazy with this one. You see, I love colors, and this thing, oh, it's gonna be colorful. I haven't figured out the color scheme at this moment in the video yet, but we're gonna get there in just a sec, you're gonna see. I think there are a lot of players that try and make their builds realistic. I mean, this could exist in real life too, but what I mean is sort of something with a more neutral color scheme, right? That's maybe more modern and sleek. And that is super cool too, and I like those builds as well, even making them myself. But I also really like leaning into that cartoony vibe that The Sims has, and just like build houses that are like, I don't know, orange and green and so many colors. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can see we're kind of getting there right now. Here I'm still figuring it out. You're gonna see in just a sec. I decided to go for like a pink and green color scheme. And spoiler, later on, I'm also gonna add like a light blue to it. Like I said, we're kind of going crazy with this one, but I really liked how it turned out. It's so happy and colorful. The way that sounded, I'm sorry if my voice is like raspier and I guess more exhausted sounding than the normal amount anyway. It is like 1,000,000 degrees in this room right now. I am blaming it on that. Maybe it's just me, but to me that sounded like I was talking about, oh, it's so colorful, I like it so much, but then secretly I actually wanted to end myself. That might sound really weird because these videos are pre-recorded. I mean, already the footage, but then between me recording this voiceover and then you actually watching this is probably also gonna take a while. So who knows, maybe while watching this you're just like, what are you talking about? I'm freezing. And this is where I decided to add a light blue to the color scheme, sort of like a cyan color, because I found this painting that's on the wall there. And it had the perfect pink shade that already fit all of the other pink stuff that I put down. And I was just like, well, I cannot not use this. And thus we had a pink, green, and blue flat. Isn't that great? And here I decided to move on to the other rooms because I saw my budget going down in the corner and I kind of went, oh no. So the first thing that I had to do was figure out the floors. But then I kind of lost my train of thought apparently and did go back to the main room here and apparently did decide that I am made of money now. But I gave the sim who lives here lots of fun activities to do that come with city living. Yeah, so that was weird. But back to where we left off, I found this cool ottoman for the bedroom that I decided to place here. And you'll never guess, it has the perfect swatch. Like, look at it, it's so ugly, but it fits so well. Look at the little excited zoom-ins that I did. Ah! That moment made my life right there. I kind of worked on both of the bedrooms simultaneously. At first, I wanted to get all of the bare bones basic stuff in to make sure that it would work with the budget. And then slowly over time, I put in more details. Oh yeah, and I didn't mention it yet. I decided to make the other bedroom into a kid's room. And a kid's room for 2 kids as well. It's kind of weird to think about. Originally, with this size of an apartment, EA was like, yeah, that's for like 1 or 2 people, and I managed to fit in 4 in here. I feel like they did a really bad job at the sizes of the apartments. Like, this one is quite cool, but a lot of the apartments are way too large. It's like, what am I meant to put in there? The same with the wall height as well. I'm not sure which wall height this is. I think it's medium. Maybe. Yeah, it looks like it. Vatsu, why so high? What am I meant to put on the walls? I don't know, it just kind of seems like they went for it and didn't really think what you could do with the space. But maybe that's cool. I mean, in the sense that it's a bit of a challenge for us. Now that I have a lot of the basic furniture placed, I moved on to do some more of the details with the remaining money that I have. Oh, and by the way, I am building this for my save file. In case you're new, every episode on here I am working on a new lot that's gonna go into the file. Although to be honest, I'm not so sure anymore now that I want to put this in this version. Obviously, I'm missing a couple of the items from like the newer updates that I don't have here because this is pre-recorded. But that's not what I'm talking about. I had the idea later on to maybe have the starter be like a rundown apartment that you need to fix up as the player. Wouldn't that be so fun? Oh well, I'll see what I do. Right now, you should be more concerned with the bathroom, honestly, which is up next. I kind of forgot about this until now, but we're getting to it now. And this is gonna be so awful as well. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. We're gonna keep the color scheme that we have in the rest of the apartment in here, and we're gonna do a blue sink, that's right, and a green toilet. And I also used that horrible, obnoxious green tile on one wall. I am having so much fun here, oh my gosh. And I'm gonna zoom out here in just a sec because I had a look at the entire apartment together and I'm honestly so surprised at how coherent everything is, considering the colors that we used. I wouldn't have expected that I would find so many items that go so well together from only 2 packs. I mean, the base game isn't really a pack, but you know what I mean. Oh, Jerry just popped on screen. Do you know what that means? It's time for the tour. Okay, so you walk in this door, and this is the entrance area. And by the way, does this footage look so laggy for you as well? I don't know, maybe it's just on my end. Maybe my editing software is just finally giving up. Anyway, this is the main room. I really like it. I love all of the colors, as I've mentioned many times previously. And then when we leg ourselves over here to the bathroom, I forgot how cool it looks in here. Camera is kind of doing weird things because it's a small room. Maybe like an angle from up here is better, I don't know. And then we got some shots from the kids' room where this time I didn't decide to move around so you couldn't notice how laggy it is anymore. Right, wait, I remember now, it was laggy in my game actually. I thought it was just recording. What happened? Was live mode just too bad for it? I mean, this isn't an apartment with that many items. Have I built a cursed apartment that is just too much for the game? Well, anyway, I also recorded a shot like this. I wanted to have like a cool one where it's like zoomed out and then you go to the window and it's like, oh, that's the apartment that we built in there. Cool. But kind of doesn't work with the lag, especially. Oh, and in there was Jerry waiting for us. I actually didn't set him up like that. He just decided to play video games himself. Since this is the first time that I built an apartment on here, I kind of feel the need to show you how this is done because it's weird. Because you can't just upload an apartment to the gallery like that. No, that would be way too easy. Instead, you need to upload it as a room. So first of all, be sure to turn move objects on. If you don't know how to do that, I'll put something for you in the description. But so in order for this to be classified as a room according to the game, I had to remove some of the walls. And people typically do this right by the door so you can find it. So you need to come in and place all of the walls again as well as the wallpaper. Pretty dumb, but unfortunately this is the only way to do this. Okay, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll link the playlist with all of the previous episodes for you here. And in the one coming next week, we're going to be building a hobbit hole using only cottage living, and it's honestly one of the coolest things I ever made, I think. So definitely don't miss it. See you then!